Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming back. Welcome. I'm so excited because today I'm going to be showing you how to get this beautiful smoky eye look that I know you're going to get so many compliments on. So of course, we are starting off with freshly washed and moisturized skin, and we know how important moisturizer is. After our moisturizer has dried down, we are going to go in with our favorite primer. I suggest if you don't have one that you find one that you need. So the one that I'm using is e.l.f. and this is like a super, I forget the name of it, but it is supposed to really do a great job, and I actually don't have any problems with it. So here you'll see me doing my brows and getting them prepped and ready for the makeup. And today we're going to do a very light eye brow. I've feathered it in the middle just so that it has a more natural look. So watch me go ahead and do my brows and take notes. Okay, so take your damp sponge and begin to blend in your concealer around your brows. Some people actually like to use a bit of a darker concealer on the top portion of the brow area, but either or is fine, whatever you're comfortable with. I suggest trying both. Yeah, I had to put some Vaseline on because my lips were a little bit dry. So I'm still blending, and we want to make sure that it's nice and even and not too thick, because when you go to put your foundation on, you want to make sure that the product is not too heavy. So I've put down my eyeshadow base, which is actually concealer, but there are products that can be specifically used for this. And I'm using the Nomad 2 palette by Juvia's Place, and I'm going to be using yellow, brown, and orange. So stay tuned for how that comes out. So because this color was so light and translucent almost, I had to use a couple different brushes to try to get the product onto my skin. So that's also the purpose of having an eyeshadow base, is so that the color sticks and it shows up properly. So I'm using a fluffy brush here. The other brush that I had was like a crease brush or something from e.l.f. This is a Real Techniques brush. You can tell by their signature purple. And so now I'm going in with that second shade on my lid, and this is the orange shade, which is the second color, which is going to be able to blend nicely into that yellow. So there's a kind of a sunset look there. So you can see I'm never going in with too much at first. I'm always applying a little bit, and then you can always build off of that. Because you, like I said, you don't want anything to be too thick. It's better to add more as you go along. And as you see me switching to both eyelids, I am definitely taking into consideration that both of them look the same. So take your time and blend. Nothing looks too harsh, as you can see. And we are making way for the next color. Okay, so I'm taking this flat kind of angled brush by Real Techniques, and I am applying that brown shadow to the very bottom of my lid. As you can see, I did not go too far with it. So as far as you want to go with the smoky eye is, or rather the darker shade of the smoky eye is to the middle, or rather to the crease of your lid. So wherever your eye meets, the bottom of your lash line meets the middle of your eye lid, that's where you want to apply the shadow. You don't want to go too high because then it can look like a disaster. Like, it's very easy to mess this up. So you just want to apply it to that folding portion of your lid, if that makes sense. So I'm taking a brush here and I'm just blending in the middle so that the orange and the brown blend into like an ombre kind of situation. You don't want to apply too much of the darker shade at a time. Just slowly build up, as I said before. So I went in again with the flat brush just so that I can apply more of the eyeshadow. I'm going in again with this tiny fluffy brush to fluff out the edges of the brown where it meets the orange. So again, that it looks like it's going to give an ombre effect. Okay, so I'm really taking my time here to blend and do this correctly. This is a look that you should practice before having anywhere important to go, because you want to make sure your blending skills are up to par. And so I'm going to take some of this gold eyeshadow into the corners of my eyes just to give a nice little pop. And that came from a small palette by LA Colors, and I will link it down below. So I'm taking some time right here to apply the concealer to these dark spots. I get, my skin is very prone to hyperpigmentation, so that's why I'm taking the concealer and I'm gonna spray my sponge with the setting spray just so that the concealer doesn't move, and I'm gonna blend this out. right? Don't judge my facial expressions. I mean, that's the face you gotta make to get the product on for some reason. I don't know. It pulls your skin to the left or to the right. And you stick your mouth out funny just so you can put on the product properly. So I'm spraying my sponge here as I normally do. And I'm gonna apply my foundation in a little while. Alright, I went off camera to apply that kohl eyeliner, and I put a little bit of brown eyeshadow to the bottom of my lid just so that it matches the top of my lid and so that it doesn't look bare under the bottom. So you want to have some good symmetry going on. You know, what you apply to the top of your lid is sometimes what you got to apply to your waterline as well. So that's what really creates that smoky effect. I feel like it's not complete until you add it to the bottom of your lash line. Okay, so the foundation that I used today was the Maybelline Fit Me in the color Coconut, and I'm also wiping off the Vaseline from my lips just so that the foundation can go over and cover that two-tone issue I have going on there. And also, when I'm blending my foundation in, I am not going all the way up until my waterline because I'm going to also apply concealer. Now, this concealer is very bright. And I'm going to tone it down in a minute because I did realize in this process that it was a little bit too bright for me, but it's okay. Makeup is art, and when you make mistakes, you just have to figure out how to fix it without having to start all over, because that can be a hassle, especially if you have to go somewhere. So it's always good to figure out how to fix your mistakes. Okay, so I'm going in with the White Sand setting powder by Juvia's Place, of course. And I'm going to apply that to the areas where I applied the concealer. And I also did put it on my eyebrow and the eyeshadow. You'll see that in a few seconds, but it's okay. You can just brush it away. So you don't want to add too much, and you want to be cognizant of how much you're using at a time. Don't use too much. Like I said, it's always good to pile things up instead of adding a whole lot to begin with. So I'm taking this blush brush and I'm just going to brush off those areas where I accidentally put the setting powder. And so I'll clean it up in a minute though. So I'm doing my contour after I've placed the powder. You can do it before or after. It depends on, you know, what works for you. But I happen to forget to do it beforehand, which is still fine because it still turned out great. So I'm just taking my finishing powder by Black Radiance Soft Focus in the shade of Chocolate, and I'm just gonna apply that all over my face where I applied the powder, especially because what the finishing powder is gonna do is even cause some evenness back into your it puts a little bit more color back into your face and your skin. So you know, I use the e.l.f. palette to contour, and I'm using the e.l.f. blush right here in that pinkish shade or dark pink shade, and I'm just gonna apply that to the highest point of my cheekbones, which I love. My cheekbones are my favorite feature. Okay, so keep watching. We are just about finished. Alright, so I'm getting ready to spray my face with the setting spray, but first I had to cover my hair and I could not find my satin scarf. Like, I don't know where it was, but it's okay. So I'm just clipping this bad boy down so that my hair doesn't get wet. So I'm applying this matte lipstick by LA Colors, and I've used a brown shade to go around the perimeter of my lips. Yes, girls. So I had to take my hair down so I can get some good footage of my hair and my makeup, because I felt like a real baddie, you know. And that's the beauty of a smoky eye. It will take you from basic to baddie, and that is why you really need to try this look. I hope you do try it, and let me know. Please comment, share, like, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.